We got three tonight on the podcast, co-host in the house. I think the first time we learned about Trevor was when people started DMing JJ saying there was a JJ lookalike on YouTube. Trevor has and had a YouTube channel, which we could talk to because I don't know how much you post, but we'll talk about that. But I remember we were in the mastermind with JJ and a bunch of other people, and someone's like, JJ, you know, there's a lookalike that's making finance content too. And we're like, what? And then it was like, we're usually like, no. And then we went to the thing and it was like you with a backwards hat and like a short beard. We were like, oh my God, that is JJ's lookalike. And
we both have massive heads.
Yeah.
Big, huge.
And that was a couple of years ago. And throughout that time, we've got to hang out, grow our relationship. And this actually happened getting you on to co-host tonight because you sent a text to us with an amazing follow-up question in relation to last week's episode that we did. And I thought it best, you know, I'm talking with JJ, like, oh, we should do an episode. Just you suggested, like, you guys should do an episode talking about this stuff. And I'm like, Evan, let's just get him on. But I mean, we don't need to do full bio, but I think just to give listeners some sort of reference, maybe age, where you're at in the country, and what you do for work.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, I really appreciate you guys thinking of me and having me on. I mean, I keep second guessing if I should be sending you guys questions, you know, like I don't want to bother you guys or whatever, but I really do appreciate you guys taking the time to, you know, answer the questions and like, you give me feedback on things. And for one, having me on today, like super, super stoked. And yeah, so quick introduction, Trevor, as you guys, he just said, I'm 24 years old. I recently, the past 2 years, I moved from Orange County, California to Boise, Idaho. I live in a smaller town outside of Boise called Kuna. And it's been a really cool experience so far, moving to a smaller town from, I think we have over 5 or 10 million people in Orange County, California. So that's been really cool. I also live with my beautiful fiance, and we've been together for over 12 years now, and I'm 24. So we've been dating since we were 12.
Holy crap!
I'm sure your girl is perfect, but damn, that sucks for you.
Yeah,
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, we could definitely talk about that. But yeah, we've been together 12 years and we get married in June 2023. So a lot going on in our life right now with, you know, honeymoon planning, wedding planning. And then you talked about, you know, what I do for work. So I run a small business online. It's called TJ Solutions. And basically what I do is I help content creators manage their brand. And so you guys obviously know what that means, but to the audience that may not, you know, fully understand what that means is I come into somebody that's on YouTube, somebody that is selling some sort of product or service, and my team manages all of that for them. So when I say all of that, that basically means their product, right? Or their service. So JJ used the example of you have a Discord community, you spend time creating the content, my team manages, you know, the client experience, the onboarding, right? Maybe dealing with the refunds, the overall product, making sure people are happy with it, making sure they want to stay. And I work with a variety of different people. I work with gyms in California. I work with some therapists online as well that have some sort of product or service that they help with. Work with a lot of YouTubers in the real estate, crypto, stock market space. And so that's what I've been doing full time for the past, I would say 2.5 years. Actually, no, that's not true. Just about 2 years. That's what I've been doing. And I don't know how in depth I want to go, but prior to that,
what I do want to ask though is what made you shift from I'm going to make YouTube content to I'm going to go to the back end? Because I mean, JJ's business partner, Bryce, who we've also had in the podcast, he used to make videos on a regular basis too. And then he decided I could probably do a little bit better on the back end. Do you still make YouTube videos on a regular on your channel? Or like, if not, what made you switch away from, you know, the thing that me and JJ say is the greatest thing ever?
Yeah, that's a great question. I still make YouTube videos very rarely. And to be honest with you, the reason is just my focus. There's a lot of things going on in my life right now, as I'm sure we'll probably talk about and touch on a couple of them. And my ROI in terms of just my time was not best spent on YouTube. I really enjoyed my time and I really do appreciate making content. I love the process, but I just create videos whenever I want to. And it's not necessarily finance stuff. Like lately I've talked about some RV things, some traveling things, but I haven't posted a video in probably 5 months. And that's another thing on my plate that I'm looking to maybe get back into at some level, but I haven't fully decided. In terms of like the adjustment when I decided to go from YouTube to actually being like helping content creators, it was a hard, and I remember calling JJ about this. Actually, I remember I got an opportunity, and I'm not going to go into detail of like who specifically, just for privacy reasons for other people, but I had an opportunity and I talked to him about it, and I talked to a bunch of different people, and I had a commitment when I first started YouTube. I said, I'm going to do YouTube for a full year and not stop and see and reevaluate at the end of the year. What do I think of this? Is this a good ROI? Not money wise, but do I like it? Am I really enjoying it? Like when I first started, I started probably like many of you, where I just propped up a camera. I said, I'm just going to talk about what I like to talk about, and I'm going to go for it. And I'm not going to stop for a full year, and I'm going to seek out help. I remember I was JJ's first clarity call ever, I think.
Yeah, man.
Like that's, that kind of stuff where I would try to seek out people I watched and try to learn. And after about 6 or 8 months that's not true, about 8 months of doing that, I enjoyed it, but I actually realized I could probably help a lot of people with save their time on the back end stuff, just because I knew how much work it was to create a YouTube video, not even high quality, just a lot of the things that go into it that people might not fully realize. And I identified that as a business opportunity and something that I really liked YouTube because it was remote and I can travel. And my fiance got a job as a teacher up in Idaho, and I still lived in California. And so I wanted to figure out a way where I could build a living and build a business revolved around being able to travel, being able to move around a little bit. And I found that as an opportunity where I felt like everybody was trying to become the next guy on YouTube, right? And for me, I said, well, nobody's out there really trying to help the creators themselves. And I just said, hey, I'm going to continue doing YouTube, but I'm also going to try and dabble in this opportunity that recently came to me. I'm going to try it. And I actually got reached out from that opportunity and said, hey, would you want to help, this creator? And I said, sure. That's kind of how it molded. So I did both for about 6 months, YouTube myself, and then helping a content creator. And then that molded into a bunch of other people saying, hey, I know you work with that guy. Would you help me with my product? And I said, shoot, I think I have a business. And so that's when I started, doing it full time. And I love it, man. I hope that kind of gives you answer your question. Well, can give you a background.
It did. It was good. I also want to back you up even more. Like, tell us. So I want to know. So you're 24, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a tough thing to do at 22 years old.
Well, or 20. You're what? 22?
24 now.
No, I'm 24.
Yeah, that's
back
what.
then I was
Okay.
22.
Yeah. So you're 24 now. Mm-hmm. I mean, dude. So first, tell us pre-YouTube, Trevor, and what you were doing, what life looked like, what your goals and ambitions were. But I also want you to touch on like your thoughts on finances too, because I mean, I know you close enough now, but like, dude, you're doing pretty solid for a 24-year-old kid. You know what I mean? Like, and you don't have to like share super details of numbers, but like, I know you're doing decently well for a 24-year-old kid. Like, kind of like back up a little bit. Tell us where you first started from, maybe like out of high school, and then kind of how you got to the YouTube point. Like, because I think that's super important with a lot of younger listeners who are maybe in where you were 5-6 years ago, and they can see like, oh, he did that. That's I think that's a huge part that I want you to.
Because this path is very untraditional. Like,
for sure,
nowhere in there did you mention college. You can bring that up, or like, were your parents into money? Because JJ looked into personal finance young in life, and I mean, you even younger, and those are the things that we talked about in those voicemail episodes we'll get to. But like, what makes a 22-year-old kid make risks and feel comfortable making those risks with were you saving? Because did you care about money? Are you financially independent? Are you a trust fund baby? Like, how all the things that the haters say, like, what made you qualify to start a YouTube channel at 22 years old?